Natchez Trace was originally known as the Boatsman's Trail when farmers from Ohio and Kentucky and those states in the 1800s, 1700s would make rafts out of big trees off their land and would float their produce, corn, that type of thing, down to New Orleans to sell it. And they would also sell those logs there. And then they would take the steamboat back to Natchez, and they would have to walk all the way back to Kentucky or Illinois, those states. So this was the route that they took. So as people started telling the story of the Boatsman Trail, they started calling it the Old Natchez Trace. So that's how they got the name Natchez Trace. The wagon represents the ways in which those boatsmen might have traveled when they were using the Old Natchez Trace. It shows a little bit of how they might have cooked with the old cast iron pot there. One of the shelters that they might have built along their way. The wagon is the kind of vehicle they might have used to get up the trail. A lot of them were just walking. And the old Sumner Hill school site is a real interesting bit of history. After the Civil War, the legislature of Mississippi, as I understand it, was both black and white legislatures, and they were rather progressive, and they started a very early effort to support, to have state-supported public schools. So Sumner Hill School was one of those schools, and it originally was meant to be for everybody, but the whites refused to go there, so it became an African-American school historically. And so for several generations that school was teaching folks, and you can still find people around town who went to that school. In 1916, the Price family came to this piece of land, and they rented it for farming, and over the next several years they bought land until they had about 100 acres. And then in 1993, the children of the Prices, the parents were getting old, they wanted to keep the land together in some way, so they decided to give it to the people of Clinton. One of the things that I have been bringing to the mix is an interest in the importance of children playing in nature. A lot of time, these days kids spend a lot of time in some kind of screen and not as much time like my generation did playing outside. So we're trying to provide opportunities for that. Clinton has some wonderful recreation parks. It has Lions Park, it has Kids Town, and those are sort of man-made child play facilities, whereas this area is for the most part left natural. So it's for communing with nature, getting the kind of emotional, spiritual, physical refreshment that nature brings. It's 1st of March here, and we have a lot of birds coming through now. You can hear a woodpecker behind us, lots of songbirds. We have big pileated woodpeckers here, which are the big things about that size. We have a lot of deer, a lot of possums, raccoon. Now and then you'll see a fox, a world of squirrels. We have copperhead snakes, copperhead moccasins, who are sort of non-aggressive, poisonous snake here. All different kinds of insects and other critters, salamanders. Well, the mission of the Clinton Community Nature Center, as it was first written in our bylaws, is that our purpose is to preserve our land and to encourage the enjoyment and study of nature in all its forms.